Hello friends. I was successfully able to leave the house this morning without Bobby catching on. It's about 6 in the morning and it's Sunday. Sundays are the day I take off. But let's be real, when I'm when I'm on a roll with a project, it's so hard for me to take any time off. And especially this door and quarter and all the body work that we got going on with the Evo right now. We need to get it done, and today was really only Vel's day to help out with that door that he's been working on. So I'm headed to the shop right now. I'll only be here for a couple hours this morning, and then I may come back later. I may go back to the shop a little bit later today because I know Bobby's got other things going on, and just kind of tinker around, maybe clean up a little bit. But for starters, let's go get this door done, because that's the main thing. We need to get this car in primer ASAP. I'm curious how long it's gonna be until Bobby calls me, or Bobby realizes I'm gone and calls me and says, "Where are you? It's Sunday. You're not allowed to go to the shop." I'm betting about an hour. So I did a poll on Instagram last night, and I was actually pretty surprised with the results. The poll was about the Vossen Black Friday drop. Did you get your stuff that you wanted, or did it sell out? 48% of you ended up getting the goodies that you wanted. 52% of you, unfortunately, did not wake up at midnight and get the goodies that you wanted. So if you're part of that 52%, I got some good news for you. Now, these aren't the same products, but technically speaking, based off of the analytical data, these are better products. For Cyber Monday, which the launch is live right this second, it just went live, we are re-releasing all of your guys' favorite products. So these are the best sellers throughout all of 2023. And let me run through and show you guys what we got. So this is the God Loves Fast Cars hoodie, nice light brown color. Don't Let Your Friends Drive Lame Cars hoodie in gray, front and back. And then for the windbreaker, it was astonishing how much you guys love these windbreakers when we dropped them. So we got these coming back as well. Snow camo, it's like a nice white camo windbreaker with the Vossen Crest logo. And then for the tees, we have the following. We have in gray, Chase Your Dream Car. And we also have that in black. I'm a big fan of the Chase Your Dream Car line. Very, very nice. And of course it speaks deep to me because that's what I spend my life doing, is chasing dream cars. And then if you're reading this, your car is too slow line as well. You guys absolutely loved. So we brought that back in black and in this graphite, or I guess we could just call it a dark gray, graphite gray. So the drop is live right now. We're gonna still run this buy two, get one free. So if you buy 2 t-shirts, we're gonna toss in an extra tee for free. If you buy 2 hoodies, we're gonna toss in an extra hoodie for free as well. It's live right now. Every order over $150 does qualify for free shipping.
Man, I like how they're coming out.
You
Actually,
what?
everything coming out pretty well.
Like I said, man, we're building the nicest Evo in the world.
Right?
Anything less, I'll throw it in the dumpster. What do you think, an hour on that door and it'll be done?
I'd say a little more. I'd say an hour and a half maybe.
Yeah. It's so close. And that quarter is 100%?
I mean, I did everything and there's not a whole lot going on. So basically, I'm just gonna fill my big scratches. Form is made. Everything looks good. Fill those deep scratches, fix the dog leg.
Yeah.
And basic quarter panel is done. I'm not sure about this line. Maybe after you're gonna prime it and you're gonna sand it, or we're gonna sand it, however it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Maybe we gonna need to do some adjustments on it. We can guide code it and see it, but then we're gonna have to send it off.
I'll get it in primer and then we can dick around with it. That's a lot of work. I'm sure it's gonna need a little bit of adjusting underneath or over the primer, which, like, there's a little dimple right there.
That's the primer will cover that. Just when you're gonna be applying, make sure you apply a lot.
Like 3 coats?
Sure, get it. Especially you're gonna be using what is it called? Tell me, I'll tell you.
Like the brand or what?
No, not the brand. Undercoat. What is it? Undercoating.
I know what you're saying. Not zinc. That's what I said yesterday.
Yes.
Not zinc, but
Self-etch primer.
yeah, it's a problem. Yeah.
So self-etch it, all the open metals, and then you can apply high build primer.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
And high build primer, just apply thicker coats.
I need to fade that out. Huh?
Yes.
What?
So
180?
basically, 320 DA.
DA 320. That
Yeah,
guy?
but you wanted to get the paint off, right?
I'll pull that down. That's pretty thick.
So to get the paint off, get a 150 on
Yeah.
DA, and then switch to a smaller and finish it with 320.
Yeah.
And especially if you're gonna prime the whole thing, you don't need to switch to 320.
You can prime right over 150.
150 kind of.
A little sus.
I don't like do one on the body filler. I'm okay do 150.
Yeah.
But when you have scratches on the paint, over time it tends to fall over.
Like shrink.
It is shrinking. I don't know how to explain it. So on the body filler, remember I showed you on the Silver Evo, they done a body work over there. You saw the scratches.
Yep.
That's what's happened. Let's see. Let's mix the glaze
Okay.
and apply it.
Alrighty. We might as well glaze the other areas that we need to as well, like the
Yeah.
trunk. Right?
Yep. I'm thinking, I don't like how this is bubbly.
Well, let's tap her in real quick. Tap, tappy, tap. Yeah, that trunk was weird.
Huh?
I've been struggling on that trunk. I've put filler on it like 3 times now, and I can't get it to feel right.
I think this then might have been a little too big to just feel it.
I pulled the middle one out with the spot welder, but not that one.
Yeah. I don't know. Because usually when there's a body line
Yeah.
and it get pushed in, the metal gotta go somewhere.
True. Is that a high spot too, or no?
Usually when you hit something first,
It's high.
usually high and in between low.
Yeah.
And like if we just sit here and analyze it, 2 dense, right? Body line, body line. Made the crown, made the crown, made the crown, made the crown, made the low spot and made the low spot, technically.
Makes sense.
What time she gets up?
On Sunday, like 7 or 7:30.
Then wait a call in 15 minutes. I'd say not. Yeah, I'd say in 15 minutes she wakes up, realizes you're not home.
Yeah, well, my office is downstairs, and she usually thinks I'm down there, which I usually am on Sundays in the office.
She'll hit a coffee, then she's gonna go see how you doing, and
Yeah.
then she's gonna realize it and be like, "Where you at?" So yeah, I'm also trying to fill those big scratches on the paint also.
What is that, 80 grit? 40 grit?
80.
We finally got a boy coming in the family. So my parents had 4 boys, right? Mm-hmm. And then all my brothers have had girls. My oldest brother has 3, and then Austin has 2. Cameron has 1 girl, and then Cameron just found out last night he's having a boy. Finally, dude, after what, 7 girls? I was worried if I ever have kids, they're gonna be freaking girls, man. Which would be fine, but
Yeah.
y'all, I would prefer a boy for sure.
In my family, I'm the first boy, and after me, 4 girls,
Yeah?
and last one is a boy too. Yep, not enough.
Can I go get more?
Sure. Oh man, you put a lot of it. It's gonna set up before I even gonna have a
I can
chance.
give you more.
No,
Glaze
it's
up?
fine. I should probably leave it like this and add later on. Just.
You want to make a deal?
Huh?
I'll make a deal with you. If you
What?
buy me a GT3 RS, I'll come racing with you.
No problem. I'll buy you. You finance the shit.
You want a mask this morning, or you? Nope. I'll see if I have any clean ones.
Dude, I don't know.
If you don't want to, I don't care.
No, I'm okay. Thank you.
All right.
I'm just breathing. You see, it's you falling, you're not breathing. It's not falling, you're breathing. Sure.
You want it? Look at that.
Sure. I know I'm gonna
It's
get.
got Bobby's makeup on it.
My wife gonna have some questions.
Let me get her cleaned up with wax and grease remover.
Huh?
That smell like wax and grease?
Yep. Your guys working today?
Huh?
Your guys working today?
We have the Cyber Monday stuff tomorrow.
Oh.
So we gotta get all that ready. They usually don't work on Sundays, but that time of the year, man, it's busy.
No, that's I actually didn't think of it.
Yeah,
That's
super
all.
busy right now. It's crazy.
That's good.
Yeah, it is
That's good. I'm just looking, and I think this there's a lot of too deep scratches that I kind of don't like. Which primer are you using? What is it called?
Russell's high build.
Okay, the 1 to 41.
Yeah. It still sticks out on the bottom, doesn't it? The door,
The door, yeah.
quite a bit. What if the door's bent?
Slightly could be, but I'm thinking more of a dog leg being bent.
Really?
Because the impact was here, so it's probably rolled it slightly, you know. There's a special attachment that goes behind the wheel well. And I'm thinking with the attachment, maybe smack it with a sludge to bring this dog leg out a little, because I really think it's in.
Makes sense.
It's not a big problem to do that because there's a double metal, so it's not gonna damage this. So what I would do is
Stupid mask.
I would get the 320
Yeah.
and go all the way around it. I would touch the body filler, but try not to spend a whole lot of time, attention, or pressure on it, because body filler sends way faster than the clear coat.
Okay.
So if you're gonna sit on it little way too long, you're gonna have a low spot again. So you're gonna have to balance it out.
Okay.
320 or 400 if you're gonna do dark color 400.
I'm just going around 400ing the whole thing right now. So.
Yeah, so make a 400 D8 and.
I was planning on flat sanding it all.
Oh,
Car.
yeah, you can do that.
Just to see if there's any other low spots or try to get the wavy.
Little longer,
Oh yeah, but it'll look
but
better.
yeah. Plus you're gonna be priming.
I'll probably use the big block on the top of the doors because I feel like they're always wavy.
Yes. You want me to leave a block?
Sure.
Actually, I'm sorry, I can't. I need to finish the Subaru.
Okay. I'll just order one. I'll buy one.
Hey, Ivan, can I borrow your tool to pull out the dog leg? Let's go. Before he changed his mind.
What time is it?
8:17.
Okay. 8:17?
Yes.
That's so weird.
Why?
Every time I look at the clock, it's 8:17.
For real?
It's my birthday. Dude, every day, I swear. So this is the dog leg puller. And it goes right back yonder.
Yep.
And you yeet her out.
Yep.
Sounds easy. Let's do her.
Yeah. There's two different thicknesses.
Yeah,
This is thin one and this is thick one.
yeah.
So we need to use thin one.
So what we're trying to fix right now is this, when it got hit, pushed in, what, like an 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch maybe? Not much at all.
No, it's not. It's 8.
1/8 inch.
Yeah.
So we're gonna put this back here and just tug her on back out where she needs to be, and it'll be beautiful.
Yep.
Okay, that's a big slide hammer.
Yep. This sludge is what, 15 pounds?
Yeesh, that'll pull it out right away.
Right?
Yeah, I'll get out of your way.
What do you think? I can't see it, so I don't want to release it. You tell me.
Go a little more. Oh, that's so close. I'll go a little bit more.
Is it going?
It's going.
Right there. Yep. There we go. Smack it one more time. Harder. Even harder. Even harder. There we go.
Look at that leg.
Hit it.
Is he gonna rip that filler?
No. Hit it. There we go.
That's a gorgeous gap. Gaps are everything, man. Gotta have good gaps, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah, dude, that's beautiful. Wow.
You like it?
Imagine trying to fix that without that tool. That would have been pain in the butt.
Especially on a lowered vehicle, you're always catching this.
I know. I'm debating rolling them, but I want it to look perfect. But if I'm gonna roll them, I better do it before I paint it.
Yeah, for sure, so you can fix it and whatever. Yeah.
I gotta
I
think.
mean, that evil rolled fenders looks gay.
That looks like shit. You can do it good, but I just don't know. Like, I want this thing perfect. So it's nice having not rolled fenders. The fronts are fine, but I might do the rears.
I mean, it looks pretty straight, honestly.
Yeah.
It's not bad at all.
Oh, that's good.
You like it?
It's
or
perfect.
should we work more on it?
The leg? No,
Yeah.
it's perfect, dude.
Okay, that's it. Let's scheme it. Some stuff over here.
Okay. What time is it? I'm gonna have to leave. Yeah. Dang. Time flies, man. Well, boys, I think we're due for a good old-fashioned shop cleanse. So we're pretty much done with all the messy work, all the filler work and whatnot, and the rest of it can probably be wet sanded and be good to go. Super happy with how the body's coming out. So close to being ready for primer, which I'm gonna definitely get her in primer this upcoming week. I got the shop in the car cleaned up pretty good. We discussed about sanding down this whole pillar because the quarter and the pillar together were sprayed in single stage paint, which is just a single stage. I guess it's not a dual coat like a base clear is. I guess you could think of it like a clear coat is in the base coat type of thing. And it's not very good, if I'm being honest. It looks absolutely terrible. And well, that's not the big deal. The big deal is I'm worried about this flaking off over time. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab like probably 180 or 220 maybe on the DA and just rip this whole pillar down all the way from the back up to the front, all the way down to either the factory paint, factory primer, or just bare metal. Any of it will work. And then that is gonna be primed along with every other part of the car that was damaged that we have fixed. Okay, I think I'm gonna switch to 320. I got pretty much all that single stage off with 180, but it's just a little bit, what the hell is that? The DA sprayed like oil all over the filler, which I don't like. I'm gonna grab wax and grease real quick and wipe all that off. I don't know if this is gonna be a problem, but I don't like it. Oh yeah, it wipes right off. I'm sure eventually it probably could soak into the filler and cause some actual issues. 320 on the whole pillar to just refine the sand scratch, and we should be able to get this thing back in the shop and do some more shenanigans. All right, well that pillar is ready for primer. There's a couple other little things that I do want to take care of as well, and I need to pick up a big sanding block. The one that I have is way too thin to block this thing out. So my current plan is I'm not going to be DAing the whole entire car like I usually would with other projects that I don't care. I mean, I care about them, but not nearly as much as this thing. Like I always say, I'm trying to build the world's nicest Evo. So the whole thing's going to be hand sanded with a big old block to make it perfectly flat and smooth. But I ain't got one. Well, I'm going to take a break from bodywork and spend the rest of the evening, this nice glorious Sunday evening, and get the rest of these accessories assembled. So we have the starter and all the parts down there, and the AC compressor. We already got the alternator done a couple days ago, and power steering pump done. We were just waiting on some hardware from Zinc. I did see a couple comments about the shine of the Cerakote we placed on these parts. Now, if you zoom in and take a look, and to be completely honest, I didn't really know this was gonna happen, but I'm glad it did, because I kind of agreed with you guys. Like, it was a little bit shiny, but after a couple days, these things are fully cured up. Hopefully that's focused. You can see it's really just OEM looking now, but it's Cerakoted. Like, these things are gonna stay looking like this probably for years, like for a very, very long time. Let's go ahead and get some stuff assembled. I'm gonna start with the AC compressor. I've had the bearings, remember that bearing that we couldn't get out? I've had that bearing and this top bearing right here out of this housing in the freezer for like 3 days now. I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy in the oven for maybe 20, 30 minutes at 300 degrees. And then with this warm, the bearing's cold, they should technically just drop right in, and we shouldn't have to do any sort of hammering or anything of the sort. So nice having the shop a little bit clean. Once again, it's not like spotless, but it'll work for a while. It always gets messy in the winter. Now while that piece is in the oven, I'm gonna go ahead and mess around with the starter. Remember that paint I ordered that's supposed to look like zinc, which, for example, this starter right here, this motor is zinc plated, but it's very, very crusty. I'm curious how this is gonna look. I'm not gonna test it out on this in case it is just trash. What else do we got in here? This place I want to get redone as well. So ideally, I would blast off this zinc plating and apply this rattle can zinc color if it looks good. Now, also with the starter, this piece right here, we do need to go ahead and get refinished. I'm gonna do this right now. So I'm just gonna use a little Prime MX wheel on the buffer, because all these magnets in here, I don't really want to sandblast it because of those. Definitely need to re-up on some wheels. This thing's got about 2 minutes of life left in her. Pull the sticker off real quick. It would be cool to get these stickers back on, but that's a big ask. I don't know where I can find them. I don't know why I love refurbishing parts so much. I think I'm addicted to refurbishing parts. It's a freaking starter. Who cares? For some reason I do. A little bit of IPA in this bottle. I usually use wax and grease remover, but it's 2 feet away and this one's only 1 foot away. Either works fine. Paint of choice. SEM direct to metal paint. 2 coats as always, and she'll be good to go. All right, let's give it a shot on this pipe, see what happens. It just looks gold. Maybe it'll change when it dries, I don't know. This is pretty cheesy looking. Let's $30 for this trash. Yeah, you go to Walmart and buy gold paint and it looks the same. Well, this just looks ridiculous. That is zinc. That is gold paint. It is what it is. I'm not going to use it on anything else, I don't think. I'd rather have crusty looking actual zinc than gold paint. But we already did it on the starter, so let's go ahead and assemble this guy. A few of these little pieces I am going to put a touch of grease on. I know it's not like starter grease, or I guess it's probably not a thing, but grease will work fine. And honestly, if the starter goes out, I don't care because I don't like how it's turning out. That guy goes in. As you can see, it needs to move freely, and it does. Each of these shafts are going to get a little bit of grease, and then just a touch on the gears, just so everything can actually spin and move freely. Okay, this guy gets attached to this guy, like so. Now we're going to take this guy and attach it to this guy, like that. A new OEM starter looks like a $300 purchase. It's quite hefty. No. 600 and, is that right? $665 for a new OEM starter. And I'm not really trusting aftermarket starters after the Type R finagle situation. Well, the starter's done. I don't really like how it turned out. Here's how it looks. I'm about to just chalk up the $665 for a new OEM one. Let's go ahead and knock out this guy here. The other pieces in the oven, and I'm hoping these bearings just slide right on in. You guys remember how hard that thing was to get out? That is a good trick. I love it. Seal is already in there, just plopped her in. Now let's get this bearing back in. I like that. That was nice and easy. So laid out here are all of the parts for the compressor. This should be a quick and easy assembly. I think I remember exactly how everything goes, so it should be pretty simple. Remember, we took photos of how everything goes as well. That's the ticket. All the seals are gonna get just a little bit of grease to help them slide in better. Not too much. So the first piece is in. It's held in on the backside by 4 bolts with O-rings on them. And then there's the other like little rotor looking part, spirally thingy. I do not know the correct term, of course. This is gonna go so that's ready to go. The shaft is now fully seated exactly where it needs to be. Spins freely, it spins fine. Of course, this thing does get filled with oil, AC compressor oil, before we run the system. So cannot forget about that. Only a couple pieces left. So this guy's gonna go on like that, and then on goes a circlip. And then the pulley goes on. The finishing piece. One last little thing to go on. This guy here, I'm assuming it's a pressure switch. To be frank, I don't know, so I'm not gonna say. But I was gonna answer a question real quick. I keep seeing about that car right there. That car. Here's the deal. I need to bring that car back to where I got it from. Hold up, let me see how this thing sits. So this thing is gonna sit. For starters, I like how I can do all the easy stuff, but I can do all the hard stuff, but I do the easy stuff wrong. This does not sit like this. This sits like, bam, that. Anyway, the Evo 4, I need to bring it back to Canada. I did not import it correctly. That was the first car I've ever imported, which I guess that's telling you guys a secret, is I've imported cars since then and I've done it right. You may or may not know about those other vehicles I've imported. But I got to bring it back to Canada and go through the import process again because I was dumb and didn't know what I was doing. It should be a pretty simple thing, but of course, it's far. Canada's a little bit of a drive for me. It's probably 6-7 hours back up to the border where I brought it through. And not only that, I guess only that, but what I'm trying to say is that's the reason I have not worked on it, is because there's no sense, just in case I cannot get it registered, there's no sense in putting time, energy, money, resources into that car when it could be going to other places. You know what I'm saying? So one of these days, Bobby and I will hop in the truck. How the frick did this go? And bring her back up to Canada and get that all dealt with. Till then, it'll be parts container, a storage container. I did think about just like slapping the motor in it real quick, because if you guys are not familiar with what's going on with that thing, it's, what's it called? Crank walked. So the thrust bearings are shot. I know the earlier Evos had that issue, maybe just earlier 4Gs in general, 4G63s in general had that problem of crank walk. It'd be sick to drive. It'd be sick to rip. I don't know if that thing's gonna be full on resto or not. I debated just getting it registered and getting rid of it and doing an Evo 5 because I really do love how the 5s look with the flares. This thing is a pain in the frick to get in. Hold up. Let me get this in. Yeah, it's got to be a pressure sensor. I really like how the 5s look. So I debated doing a 5 instead of a 4. But I already have the 4. I've kind of overpaid for it. I didn't know it was crank walked at the time. Sick, I forgot a little washer. I'm gonna have to pull that nut back off. He just said it was having a ignition issue or something. So that was pretty frustrating. That's probably half the reason why I have not touched it, is because I feel like I kind of got had on that car. My fault though. My fault for not checking it over better. Okay. AC compressor is a wrap. This thing looks really, really nice. I'm stoked with how this came out. Still bummed with how the starter came out, but if anyone wants to lend me $665 for a new OE unit, I'll take it. So the compressor is finished. This should free spin like it does, because that's of course on the serpentine belt, and then as soon as the clutch engages, however that happens, to be frank, I don't really know, but then it'll go clunk and lock up, and it'll compress, it'll compress the air, giving you cold air. Technology, science, don't know how that works, but I know that's supposed to spin, and that's supposed to spin. Sweet. The worst thing so far about this freaking carnivore diet that I'm on is this right here. I am dying of hunger pains. Today's Sunday, so I don't usually work on Sundays, and this Sunday I am, so I brought no food to the shop with me. And when I came to the shop, I was expecting to not be here very late. It is 8 p.m. right now. I'm just freaking leaving the shop. So that's tough. Low tire pressure. Thanks, Jared. It's probably, if I'm being completely honest, it's probably just a really, really cold weather right now. 16 degrees. That's cold. Woo! It is chilly. You think pushing this thing in and out would motivate me enough to literally just put a crank or a cam sensor on it and get it running? But it hasn't. Consider this cardio, a vascular exercise. Maybe tomorrow I'll put a sensor on it. Just for the shits and giggles of it. Alright. I put a big screen in this truck years ago. And it's this clunker right here. It integrated all of the climate control into it. And this screen was like $1,300 or $1,400. Ridiculously expensive. The most expensive head unit I bought. And unfortunately, I had to say, the biggest pile I've ever bought. So much so that I'm probably just going to go back to stock. But I like the CarPlay feature. But unfortunately, the CarPlay feature doesn't perform all of the time. So I actually never use it. I just use Bluetooth. Anyways, solid day in the shop. It's always good when you can make a little bit of extra progress. I do love taking Sundays off, and it's something I recently implemented just to kind of like have a reset day, think through things like how the car, you guys are going to think my life revolves around cars when I say this. Unfortunately, it does. My life really truly does revolve around my car builds. But just have a good solid day to hang out with Bobby, kind of get away from the shop, clear my mind, and figure out what I want to do next with the cars and then with the builds, and kind of re-motivates me every single week to like be forced to step away from the shop and, you know, not see the cars, I guess. I sound like I'm addicted to cars. I might be. But today that was not the case. Worked out good with Vel. We got that stuff knocked out. Bobby was busy doing other things all day. I wasn't going to sit at home and meander and do nothing. So, might as well make some extra progress, right? Hoping to get this Evo and primer probably within the next couple days. I was going to say tomorrow, but I still need to pull off all the door panels. I need to like completely disassemble the car, so I get the doors torn down to just bare, meaning the windows are coming out and the door panels come off. Everything on the inside is coming out because we're going to be spraying the inside of the doors and the jambs and everything as well. So I need to do that. I need to get the mirrors off and disassembled, and some couple more touches of body work. I ended up putting a dent in the car this evening when I was pushing it, and I hit the engine stand and it put a dent in the trunk, so we got to fix that, which is annoying. But yeah, next couple days this old girl should be in primer, and then Bobby says, are you ever going to be home? I thought she was busy all day. Let's primer, cure up, shrink up for a couple days, go ahead, wet sand it, and hopefully get the booth, which is exciting. The only not exciting part is I still do not know what color I'll paint in this car. I need to think about it more. So indecisive. Red, yellow, black. It's between those three. Of course, all the OEM versions of that color. Tarmac black, lightning yellow, and it's not rally red. What is the Evo 8 red? Red Evo 8. Apparently it is rally red. That doesn't seem like a rally red like it is rally red. P85. Why does it look so much different than Evo 10s? I don't know. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, that's cool. This guy has a BLM sticker on his truck. That's a funny sticker, because it's not the traditional BLM. It literally says Biden loves minors. That's a silly sticker. That's a good way to end the evening. Good night.